Hey everybody, welcome to Señor's Spanish course. Thanks for listening. This is Lección 3. So today is going to be kind of a big vocab day. It's kind of that last chunk of basic vocab that we have to know. And so the good news about that is that a lot of these are what are called cognates, which a cognate is a word that is very similar in Spanish and in English. They're basically the same. So for example, the word excellent is excelente in Spanish, or the word special is especial. So those words are cognates. They're basically the same in English and in Spanish. So a lot of the words that we're going to learn today are cognates, so it makes them very easy to remember. Okay, so Lección 3, vamos a aprender, so we're going to learn, vamos a aprender los números de 21 a 100, los días de la semana, los días de la semana, days of the week, los meses del año, the months of the year, and lastly, decir la fecha y la hora. So say the date and the time. Okay, so let's get started. Los números de 21 a 100. So the numbers from 21 to 100 are basically a repeating pattern. You're just going to say the word for 20, for the word for 20, and then whatever number comes next. So for example, 23 would be 20 and 3. Do you remember how to say the word and in Spanish? It's E. It's the letter Y, E. So 21 is just 20 and 1 in Spanish. 33 is 30 and 3. 55 is 50 and 5. So that's all there is to it. So what we really need to know then are the words for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, etc. So let's look on. Do you remember the word for 20? 20. 30 is 30. So go ahead and repeat that after me. 30. 40. Repeat that. 40. 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So for any of these things, so if I said that all you got to do is say 84, you just say 80 and 4, how do you think you would say 84? 84. What about 68? You're going to say 60 and 8, so it's 68. And there's only one very small exception to these, and that is the numbers from 21 to 29 just have a little spelling change. So, because if you notice, 30 through 90 all end in the letter A, and 20 and 20 ends in the letter E, so it's going to cause a little spelling change. We're going to look at that right now. So 21, 20 y uno, it gets smashed together so that we drop the E, we drop the letter E, and then the Y, the Y becomes an I, and it all gets smashed into one word. So it's 21. 22 becomes 22. And we had an accent there because the last letter is an S, so we had an accent. So 23, 23, and we put an accent there also. 24, 25, 26, and again we get an accent there. 27, 28, and 29. So those are our only exceptions to that pattern. We drop the E, the Y becomes an I, and we smash them all together into one word. Alright, but the rest are not like that. The rest are separate words. So here, let's look at them really quickly. Here, los 30s, we have 30, 31, 32, 33. You can see that. So that is the words 35, 35. It's 3 words, 35, 30 and 5. Here's los 40, 44, 48, 49, 53, 55, 58, 61, 62, 63, 74, 75, 76, 87, 88, 99. So that's the numbers from 30 to 99 are all like that. You just say the number and then the word E and then the other number. So that's really all you need to know are those beginning words, the words for 20, 30, 40, 50. And then the number for 100 is 100. 100 is 100. So there you go. Now you should be able to tell me any number from 0 to 100. From 0 to 100. Alright, vamos a practicar. We're going to practice. We are going to practice. Vamos a practicar. So, you tell me the number. ¿Qué número es? 25. ¿Qué número es? Do you remember? So we're going to say 60 and 1. 61. What about this one? Do you remember? 99. 34. 34. 34. Remember the word for 50? 50. 50. And the word for 100? 100. So, I know that's a big chunk of vocabulary. That's all the practice we're going to do right now, but I'm going to have the additional materials for you to print out and do. And you're going to have more practice on that, just because I think you're probably going to need it. But now you know the basic building blocks of the numbers from 0 to 100. So, let's look at los días de la semana. Los días de la semana. So, one thing that's important to note is that in Spain and Latin America, the week begins with Monday. So in America, our week begins with Sunday. Like if you're on a calendar, the first column is Sunday, and it goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Saturday. Well, in Spain and Latin America, the first column is a Monday, and then it goes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way to Saturday, and then Sunday is the last column on a calendar. So it's important to notice that, so that if you're looking at a calendar in one of those countries, you don't get confused. So I'm going to tell you the days of the week, and you just repeat them after me, okay? Lunes. Remember, that's Mondays, because we're starting on Monday. Lunes. Martes. Miércoles. Jueves. Viernes. Sábado. And domingo. Okay, let's try that one more time. Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, y domingo. Okay, so one thing that I don't like is repeating them in a row too many times, because that makes it, in a way, you memorize them in order, so you won't know that jueves means Thursday. So if it's Thursday and I say, what day is it? You'll have to say, oh, what is it? Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves. Oh, it's jueves. And I hate that people have to count the days. You need to know what each day means instantly. So if it's Friday, you don't have to think, let's see, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes. It's viernes. You can just say it right off the bat. So here's some tricks just little memory tricks. Some of them are kind of cheesy, but that'll help you remember the days. So, okay, lunes. So Monday is named after the moon. Monday is Moon Day. And So moon is the a word that means that has to do with the moon is lunar, like a lunar eclipse. And actually, the word for moon in Spanish is la luna, and so that's how we get lunes. So it's the same thing. Monday is el lunes. So if you just kind of remember Monday, lunar, and lunes, so that helps. I think remember which one is lunes. All right, martes. This one's really cheesy, but it can help. So Tuesday is martes. So Tuesday, martes. Now it's shortened in both, so it's Tues, mart. It's like too smart. Like it kind of sounds like too smart. So martes, remember like too smart, Tuesday. So anyway, that helps. I don't know. It helped me when I was first learning anyway. Miércoles is Wednesday. So miércoles and Wednesday, they're both the longest word. They have the longest number of letters of any of the days. So Wednesday is kind of the long one they have to write out. Well, miércoles is the longest day. So not the day, they're all 24 hours of course, but I mean it has the most number of letters of any day of the week, just like Wednesday. So they're the long words. El jueves is Thursday, and then just think like Thursday. Like imagine that word Thursday, because it's the J word. So the J word is Thursday. So jueves is Thursday. So just kind of, if you think like Thursday, you see the J, Thursday. El jueves, Thursday is jueves. Viernes is easy because it's V for victory. So it's kind of like on Friday, you've finished the week, you've done all the days of work or school. So you've won, you've beaten the week, you've made it, you have victory. Viernes, V is for victory on Friday. El sábado, Saturday, sábado, they're cognates. That one's easy. Saturday, sábado. And the last one, domingo. One thing that kind of helped me was like, have you heard of the city of Santo Domingo? It's the capital of the Dominican Republic, and it means Holy Sunday. Sunday is the holy day. Santo Domingo, Holy Sunday. And if that doesn't help you, then you can say Domingo is a good day to play dominoes. So, it's a lazy Sunday. You can sit around and play dominoes. Domingo. So hopefully that helps you remember the days of the week a little better than just having to think like, let's see, what is it? Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, Thursday's jueves. So you just know off the bat. Jueves, the J day. Thursday, it's Thursday. Martes, smart, too smart, Tuesday. So just kind of think of them like that, and then eventually it just kind of becomes second nature. So, okay. Vamos a practicar. Vamos a practicar los días. So, I'm going to ask you qué día es. What day is it? Qué día es. And I'm going to pick a number. So this is a Spanish calendar for Julio of this year. That's July. And remember that the first column is Monday. Spanish calendars go from Monday to Sunday. So I'm going to pick a date, and you're going to tell me the day in Spanish out loud. So I'll say, for example, ¿Qué día es el 10 de julio? And so the 10th of July is there in the middle. It's the fourth day of the week, which is jueves. So then you would tell me jueves. Okay? So, let's get started. So, ¿Qué día es el 30 de julio? El 30 de julio. So, which day is the 30th of July? El 30 de julio is miércoles. Wednesday, miércoles. Okay. ¿Qué día es el 5 de julio? El 5 de julio. Sábado. Es sábado. ¿Qué día es el 21 de julio? El 21 de julio es el lunes. Es el lunes. ¿Qué día es el 13 de julio? El 13 de julio. El 13, the 13th, is domingo. Es el domingo. ¿Qué día es el 15 de julio? ¿Qué día es el 15 de julio? Martes. El 15 es el martes. ¿Qué día es el 24 de julio? El 24 de julio es el jueves. El jueves. And so the last one, ¿qué día es el 11 de julio? El 11 de julio es el viernes. So, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. There you go. So that's another thing you have to practice. Just getting those days down, knowing them right off the top of your head. You know, learn how to say them, things like that. Alright, so we're going to move on. Okay, now we're going to talk about los meses del año. So there's 12 of them, but the good news is that 11 of them are cognates of the month in English. So let's go through them. Really won't take us very long. Just repeat after me. The only one that's not a cognate really is enero. Enero. So that's January. But the rest are enero. Febrero. Marzo. Abril. Mayo. I think we probably all know Mayo. Junio. Julio. Agosto. Septiembre. Octubre. Noviembre. Diciembre. So there you have them. So they're all pretty close. The only problems that sometimes people will have is with the spelling on some of them from August to December, because we changed the letters a little bit. So you'll see like someone will write Augusto with a U. It's not a U, it's Agosto with an O. And the same thing for October, it is a U. So it's Octubre, not Octobre, Octubre. And then by Diciembre, it's D-I, not D-E, so Diciembre. And then don't forget that there, the I-E in September and November, it's Septiembre, not Septembre, Septiembre, and Noviembre, not Novembre, Noviembre, so they add an I in there. All right, we're going to do them one more time just for practice. Repeat after me and we'll move on. Enero. Febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. There you have it, los meses del año. Okay, so how do you say the date? You might have heard me saying it earlier when we were practicing days, so it's really pretty simple. You just say SL, so it is the SL, and then we're going to fill in that blank with either the word primero, which means first, or we're going to fill it in with just those numbers that we learned from 2 a 31. So we'll say it's the first if it's the first day. Other than that, we just say it's the 2, it's the 4 of September, it's the 6th of August. So we don't say 6th. The only time we change it is in the first. El primero de agosto is the 1st of August, and el 2 de agosto is the 2nd of August. So after that, we just have the word day and then the month. So here's just some things to practice. So here's one. El primero de julio. It's the 1st of July. So that's something that's important to look at too, is just a difference in the way they write the dates in Spain and Latin America. And I believe pretty much every country in the world except for us, to be honest, except for the United States, has it, that I know of anyway, puts the day and then the month first. So 1/7 is not January 7th, it's July 1st. So it's El Primero de Julio. It's really easy to get confused because we're so used to seeing it. You see 10/9, and that's the 10th of September, not the 9th of October. So day, then the month. El Primero de Julio, 1/7. So the next one, El 28 de Octubre. El 28 de Octubre. And the last one that I have here just is El 15 de Marzo. El 15 de Marzo. So just be aware that they write their dates differently in Spain and Latin America, and I think it's every country except for us, except for the United States. So make sure that you know that, because you don't want to get confused about the dates. Okay, now I'm going to ask you, ¿qué es la fecha? Fecha means date. So, ¿qué es la fecha? ¿Qué es la fecha? So tell me out loud. ¿Qué es la fecha? And you tell me, what is that 1-1? What would that be? Es el primero de enero. Es el primero de enero. ¿Qué es la fecha? ¿Qué es la fecha? Es el 2 de diciembre. Es el 2 de diciembre. It's not February 12th there. That's December 2nd. El 2 de diciembre. ¿Qué es la fecha? Es el 7 de noviembre. Es el 7 de noviembre. ¿Qué es la fecha? Es el 31 de octubre. ¿Qué es la fecha? Es el 24 de agosto. ¿Qué es la fecha? Es el 13 de abril. Es el 13 de abril. So, that's telling dates. Now let's talk about telling time, what time of day it is. So this is a little bit more complicated in Spanish than it is in English. And so let's we'll just start showing you, and then you can kind of learn from it. So it is 1 o'clock. Es la una. So it is 1 o'clock. Es la una. It is 2 o'clock. Son las dos. So if it's 1 o'clock, we say es la una. And then if it's from 2 to 12, we say son las dos, or son las whatever number it is. So here's a question for you. How do you think you would say it is 3 o'clock? Son las tres. How do you think you'd say it is 4 o'clock? Did you get the pattern? Son las cuatro. It's going to be like that for all of them. Son las cinco, son las seis, son las siete, son las 10, son las 11, son las 12. There you go. So now let's look at if it's not right on the hour. If it is from 1 minute to 30 minutes past the hour, we're going to say son las, the time, or es la una. And then we're going to use the word for and. Do you remember how to say and? It's E. And then we're going to say the number of minutes it is past the hour. So if it's 1:20, we're going to say es la una y 20. It is the 1 and 20. Es la una y 20. At 3:15, we're going to say son las 3 y 15. Or you could say son las 3 y cuarto. Cuarto means quarter, just like we can say a quarter past 3. It's the same. So you can say 3:15, quarter past 3, son las 3 y 15, son las 3 y cuarto. So they both mean the same thing. At 4:30, son las 4:30. So media means half. So we would never really say son las 4:30. That's the one exception to everything. You would say it's 4:30. It's son las 4:30. So here's a one for you. How do you think you'd say it is 10:07? So all you're going to do is say son las 10:07. It is 10 and 7. So that's easy enough. When it's from 1 past the hour to 30 past the hour, it's a little easier. But after that, we have to do a little bit of math, so it gets a little bit more complicated. So from 31 past the hour to 59 past the hour, we jump up to the next hour and we say minus however many minutes it is. So it is 4:31. You say son las 5 menos 29. It's 5 minus 29. It's 29 minutes to 5. So it's like now at 4:31, it's closer to 5 o'clock than it is to 4 o'clock. So they jump up to 5 and subtract. So you're going to have to get used to subtracting minutes. So at 6:45, so now we're past the halfway mark. So we're closer to 7 o'clock. So we're going to say son las 7 menos, how many minutes? 15 minutes. So menos 15. Son las 7 menos 15. Or you can say cuarto because it means a quarter. So either one is fine. Okay, you try and do one. It is 12:50. What do you think? So we're past the halfway mark, so we're closer to 1 o'clock than we are to 12. So we're going to jump up to the next hour. So how do you say it is 1? Es la una. How many minutes till 1? Es la una menos 10. It's 1 minus 10. It's 10 minutes to 1. So that's how you tell time in Spanish. It's a little bit more complicated, especially once you get past the halfway mark. You have to jump up to the next hour and subtract. So let's take a look at just a different way of saying the same thing I just told you. So how do you tell time? You're either going to say es la una if it's 1 o'clock, or son las dos, son las tres, son las cuatro, son las 10, etc. So if it's anything past 1, then it's going to be son las. If it's 1, es la una. And then if it's not exactly on the hour, you're going to have to add some stuff to express that. So after that comes y or menos. So if it's from 1 minute past the hour until 30 minutes past the hour, you're going to use y. Es la 1:20. Son las 3:25. And if it's past the halfway mark, you're going to jump to the next hour and subtract. So if it's 2:50, we're going to say son las 3 menos 10. And then the last thing they're going to do is you're going to fill it in with a number from 1 a 29, or you're going to put media, or you're going to put cuarto. So es la 1:30. Son las 3 menos 20. Son las 3 menos cuarto. Okay, so that's all it is. You're going to choose from es la una, or son las, and then a number from 2 to 12. And then if you need to, if it's not directly on the hour, you're going to use y or menos, and you're going to fill it in with the number. So let's do some practice. I'll ask you, ¿qué hora es? What time is it? ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? Son las 4. Okay, you should be saying them out loud. So I'm going to say ¿qué hora es? You tell me the time out loud. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 4:30. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 4:21. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 5, so we jumped up to the next hour, menos 15, or menos cuarto. ¿Qué hora es? So we're just past the halfway mark, so we're going to have to jump up. Son las 5 menos 29. We're 29 minutes to 5. And here, ¿qué hora es? Son las 5 menos 1. So we're 1 minute to 5. Okay, let's keep practicing. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 8:30. ¿Qué hora es? Okay, so we're past the halfway mark, so we're jumping up to 1. So es la 1 menos 20. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 6:16. ¿Qué hora es? Es la 1:01. So you notice the first, if it's talking about the hour, it ends in an A. Talking about the minutes, it ends in an O. Es la 1:01. That's only true for uno y una. It's not true of any other numbers. Okay, ¿qué hora es? Son las 2:15. O 2:15. ¿Y qué hora es? Es la 1. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about expressing AM or PM. So it's done a little differently in Spanish too. It's done a lot differently actually. So if it's de la mañana is AM. If it's an AM number, we can just say de la mañana. It means of the morning. Mañana means morning. So it's from 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 a.m. We can say de la mañana. Son las 2 de la mañana. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. Son las 3:30 de la mañana. It's 3:30 in the morning. Okay, al mediodía, that means noon. So if it's right at noon, I can just say like, oh, what time is it? You can say, es al mediodía. It's noon. It's the half day. De la tarde. So PM, like I said, doesn't really translate because you know how they have tarde means afternoon and evening. Remember buenas tardes? So from about 12:01 p.m. so afternoon until about 8 o'clock, it can maybe be 9 o'clock. Then whatever you would consider the evening, afternoon, evening, you'd say de la tarde. So son las 4 de la tarde. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. De la noche is once we get later than the evening. So from about 8 o'clock-ish till 11:59 p.m., we can say de la noche. Son las 10:15 de la noche. It's 10:15 at night. And then the last one, la medianoche, that means midnight. It's the middle night. Medianoche. La medianoche. So let's practice. Okay, ¿qué hora es? So we're going to practice again with ¿qué hora es? But now I want you to tell me if it's, express also if it's AM or PM. So you're going to tell me the time and then de la noche, de la mañana, whatever. So let's get started. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 10:30 de la noche. ¿Qué hora es? Es la medianoche. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 12:01 de la mañana. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 11:20 de la mañana. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 6 menos 15 de la tarde. ¿Qué hora es? Es la 1 menos 5 de la tarde. So, that's how you express time in Spanish. Okay, materiales adicionales. So click the link in the video description for additional materials and answer key. I'll get that up later today, so it should be there by the time you're watching this video. And this one, if you're going to do any of that so far, I would suggest doing this one. It's a lot of vocab. It's a lot of stuff that needs practice on. So print it out and do it. And, that way you can practice your days, practice your months, practice telling time, practice saying the date. So, it's a lot of stuff to know, and it's important and stuff that comes up all the time. So you definitely want to get these building blocks in a solid position in your mind, okay? So hasta la próxima. So suscríbete a mi canal. You don't want to miss any lessons, so suscríbete a mi canal y nos vemos. Adiós.